Chris Black Radio Show, take one. Here we go. Yeah. Every Tuesday is like a weekend. Every Thursday, here we go again. Twice a week at 6 p.m. So get ready to let the show begin. It's that Chris Black Radio Show. Yeah. Chris Black Radio Show. 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 Yeah. Chris Black Radio Show.
Low expectations held with disappointment. How could it really hurt if it's not what I wanted? Even though we both know that's a lie, 'cause I do want you. Lying to myself is just to get me through. 'Cause when you say you want this, I know that you do, but you're just not ready yet, and I won't get hurt by you. I'm seeing the sign. I'm starting to look at my past. Get out while I can before everything goes a bad way. I wanna be down, baby, I'll be down. If you just give me a call, babe. I wanna be down, baby, I'll be down. Just read between the lines. Don't you hesitate, don't you hesitate. We don't even gotta talk, just lay with me, babe. I wanna be down, baby, I'll be down. In the past, been so naive that I could change a man. Now I don't even want the one on the page I am. 'Cause you gon' do what you want, there's no changing that. You are who you are, but I can't play games no more, and I won't pretend I will. So sick and tired of dealing with trivial bullshit. It's a losing game. It's better to cut my lies, pretend that we're strangers, and that there's no feelings at all. I wanna be down, baby, I'll be down. If you just give me a call, babe. I wanna be down, baby, I'll be down. Just read between the lines. Don't you hesitate, don't you hesitate. We don't even gotta talk, just lay with me, babe. I wanna be down, baby, I'll be down.
Thanks for tuning into the Chris Black Radio Show. If this is your first time listening, this is an entertainment variety show. We are committed to inspiring audiences through positive music and information. We interview and play independent artist music, interview musicians, business owners. We try to bring you all things current in the entertainment and world news, from music artists, producers, actors, comedians, fashion. We cover every aspect of the entertainment industry, and I am your host, Chris Black. Now, if you want to reach us, you have any comments, you have any questions, you can reach us at info@thechrisblack.com, or you can visit my website, thechrisblack.com. I want you to follow me. Follow me on Instagram, the Black19. That's wrong. Instagram is the Chris Black Show, the number 1. You can also visit us on Facebook, the Chris Black Show, or The Black Show, or follow me on Twitter, Black1971. I'm so glad that you're with me on this week. We have some great interviews. But before we go there, I want to talk about something. So last week was the Super Bowl. And first of all, I want to say congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a great game. It had you in your seat the entire time, on the edge of your seat. The reason why I'm bringing this up, I saw so much on social media. You know, I read a lot of things, and people on social media, they were hating on Justin Timberlake. Well, first of all, I am a Justin Timberlake fan. I like his music. So, and I have for a while, but I want to say this. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the halftime show. I think the arrangement and everything was great. And, you know, so my question is this. My question is, why so negative? Why be so negative? Everyone has an opinion about, oh, this was great. They're comparing it to other years as a Super Bowl. But I bet you this. If someone from JT called you to come play and you're a musician, I bet you would have been there. I bet you'd have been right on the stage and you'd have dared anybody to talk about the performance. Now, I mean, this is my opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but sometimes your opinion needs to stay in your head. But, you know, one thing I was hoping, you know, from the show, I was hoping that I would see a surprise visit by Janet Jackson, that she would join. You know, the fiasco that happened over 10 years ago. I would hope that he try to, you know, bring her out and bring some positive light on it. But again, you know, stop. You know, there's no need to be negative. It was a good show. You know, you can't. Justin is Justin. You know, Beyonce is Beyonce. You know, Prince is Prince. Everyone has had their own show. Whitney is Whitney. So everyone has had their own show. So you can't compare. You know, let him do his thing. Everyone has a different type of contribution that they have given to, I mean, not just the music industry, but they're giving to when they do these shows. You know, then he had I saw some negative things about him having Prince up there and all of that. I mean, I like how they did it. You know, if you're a diehard Prince fan, of course you wouldn't like that he did that. And I think I read an interview, where Prince was talking about that's demonic and all that kind of stuff. And I get it and I understand that. But again, my only reason for bringing this up is I saw so much negativity about the show and towards other musicians and all other kind of stuff. And let's stop it. Let's support one another. You know, if you can do better, go do better. If you can't, you stay at home, stay in your home studio and do what you do. All right, you're listening to the Chris Black Radio Show. We will be right back after this. Our spotlight music artist this week is Ariel. The first song that we played was Be Down. We're going to play Good on You, and we will be right back.
Keep it locked right here. You're listening to the Chris Black Radio Show.
Listen to Health Talk with Dr. Diane, MD, for tools and strategies to live a healthy, happy, and successful life. For details, go to drdianethompson.com. That's drdianethompson.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dr. Diane A. Thompson.
Being fit is key if you want to live a long and healthy life. But there are so many diets out there, and frankly, you've probably tried most and may have given up. Well, I'm here to tell you there is hope, and don't give up. If you're serious about losing weight and getting fit once and for all, you need to check out Body by Vi. If you're ready for the body you've always wanted, Body by Vi is the program for you. In fact, millions of people have already lost millions of pounds. Body by Vi is now challenging you to see what's new, and you can do it 10 pounds at a time. You will look great and feel so much better when you finally get rid of all that extra weight you've been carrying around with you for all those years. Body by Vi has discovered the secret to long-term weight loss, and it's found in the first 10 pounds lost. Now you can be a part of the Project 10 Challenge. Just visit DanielleRiley42.bodybyvi.com. That's Danielle Riley, the number 42.bodybyvi.com. Here, you can see what this amazing diet is all about. Read the testimonials, see the before and after pictures, and you will be amazed. This is truly incredible. Danielle Riley, 42.bodybyvi.com.
I want to tell you about a new and powerful tool called RE Visa Card. RE is a worldwide home-based business you can get excited about. Now, I know you've heard it all before, but RE has low startup costs with big payouts. No more waiting for paychecks in the mail. RE pays directly to your own RE Visa Card. You can get started today for $39.95. Now, RE was founded to help the people you know save money on products and services they already purchased somewhere else. So why don't you sign up today? You can call us by 1-888-603-1555. Again, 1-888-603-1555. Or go to our website, Get-Re-Energized.
Remember the time we would go link up on the west side. Not fully mine, but kept me on reserve. Never knew why. It was never you and I, but I didn't care. Competition don't scare me at all. But boy, was I wrong. Funny, as soon as I got over it, you're coming back around. Same and more same as back then. Ain't nothing changed, so if I wasn't good enough, then now I'm good on ya, yeah. Same and more same as back then. Ain't nothing changed, so if I wasn't good enough, then now I'm good on ya, yeah. I think about the things I did and how much I put in, and it makes me cringe. You really had me going. Believe you will come up on me, but that was before I really even knew myself at all. I had to look in, figure how I let you treat me wrong. Funny, as soon as I got over it, you're coming back around. Then now I'm good on ya, yeah. Talking about the shit we did before, it's not how I remember it at all. If I wasn't good enough, then now I'm good on ya, yeah. Talking about the shit we did before, it's not how I remember it at all. If I wasn't good enough, then now I'm good on ya.
And welcome back. You are listening to the Chris Black Radio Show. If you just joined us, thank you very much for tuning in to the Chris Black Radio Show. We have a lot in store for you today. So today on the show, we will be talking to celebrity makeup artist, singer, and songwriter. This is a very, very talented young man, Tony Walk. I've had the pleasure of working with him throughout the years, and he's a great singer, songwriter, makeup and hair artist. So you're going to really enjoy him. independent artist and singer and songwriter Jazmen Safina. She will be talking about her EP. She just released it. I believe it was on January the 5th. She just released it, and we're going to talk about some ups and downs and lives and woes and all of that. So yeah, we're excited about that. And like, this week's spotlight artist is Ariel. She also released a new EP in January, and I had the pleasure of playing with her on her release party. So go to her website. Her website is Ariel Music, AERIAL music.com. You have to support independent artists. If you want support, you have to give support. So I'm also very excited about one of our guests that's going to be on the show next week, Nisha Cortez. This is a singing sister. Her family's, they all can sing, but she's a singing sister. She is doing some things on her own, and she has a new project, a couple of songs that's out, and we are looking forward to interviewing her next week. So make sure that you take a listen. We're going to play one of her songs a little bit later so you can see what I'm talking about. So we always want to push new and independent artists, live performances, and music. So if you want to be highlighted, if you want to be interviewed, or if you want me to even come out to your event to record an interview at your live event, make sure that you email us. Email us at thechrisblackshow@gmail.com. Okay? Make sure that you do that. So a couple things I want to talk about. You know that I am a musician. I'm also a speaker. I'm also an author, a teacher. And there's a few things that I have out that I want you to support. I have a video series called How to Have Lasting Change. It's an hour and a half. I also have a video series, Recognizing Your Unhealthy Thinking Habits. So go to my website, thechrisblack.com. It's /products. You can get any of that information. Listen, we're all trying to be a better person, and all of these videos comes from my book series called Master Your Life. We are all trying to master who we are. No one is perfect, but in these series I teach you how to master, or how to strive for perfection in having lasting change in your life, how to recognize your unhealthy thinking. We talk about, your emotions. We talk about your physical. We talk about your finance. We talk about a little bit of everything that's around you. So make sure that you support that. Now, I've been in the industry for a long time, and I've talked to a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've been around the world, and one of the things that has often bothered me is that I've seen musicians or artists or entrepreneurs, they struggle in the music industry financially. They struggle physically. They struggle in all these different ways. So I created a network called the Jam Network. And with the Jam Network, yes, we're going to jam music, but I also want to jam information that's going to empower musicians and artists, to help them learn how to manage money, help them learn how to network, help them learn how to help themselves physically, learn emotional. So not just being a musician, not just being an artist, but learning the tools that you need to be an all-around success person. You've heard the stories of these artists that they write these hits, or they seem to be successful for a while, then all of a sudden they're broke. They don't have any money. And they're not broke because they didn't have money or they didn't make money. They're broke because they didn't know how to manage their money. See, a lot of people, they were not taught how to manage their money. They didn't learn how to manage their credit. They didn't learn how to make the right decisions. So the Jam Network is about that. And that's something that we're going to be doing once a month. And look at, if you go on Facebook, is the Jam Network. The Jam Network series. So that's the Facebook name. So check that out, or you can email me. I'll give you information. We're going to be giving out information. We're going to do something once a month. If you want to try to do something in the city that you're in, please, please, please let me know. So email me at thechrisblackshow@gmail.com. Now, I want to play a song by Nisha Cortez. This song is called Freedom. It's an inspirational song. Listen, I can't wait to get her on the show next week. Make sure that you find her, follow her, listen to the show. Nisha Cortez, Freedom. And we will be right back with our interview with Tony Walk.
Hi, it's your favorite American Idol, Lakeisha Jones, and you're listening to the Chris Black Radio Show.
What the house, the winds, the whys, the pain, deceit, the way you lie to me, the hurt you put me through, cause I would not follow you. The fear of giving you my soul makes me feel to lose control. Now I just wanna let you know that I've gotta let you go. Joy and peace and all the things you tried to steal from me. My dreams, my confidence, my money and my common sense. Seeking whom you can devour. I declare you have no power. Hear the things you try to do. You're making a big fool of you.
And we are back on the Chris Black Radio Show, and we have our spotlight interview for today. None other than Tony Walk. Sir Tony.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Sounds like somebody else is trying to get you and call you.
Yeah, but this is you important right now.
Let me give y'all just a little bit about Tony. Now, Tony is one of the most talented guys that I've met here in Los Angeles, California. I mean, you've heard you've heard the saying. He does a lot. He's not only, I don't want to say he's a jack of all trades, because they say jack of all trades, master of none. But if you hear, he's not only a singer, he's great at that. He's a great makeup artist. I know he has something else up his sleeve. He's a songwriter. I mean, and it can go on and on. So, how we doing?
Good. So far, so good. I'm trying to get this project released that I've been working on for a while now. So hopefully I will be able to conquer that. Well, not hopefully, I'm going to conquer it. And then we're going to go from there. I have so many great opportunities that are just waiting for me. So I need to take it.
So what project are you speaking of that you're working on?
My first album, my first CD of my music, of things I've written and things that I've created.
So is something in the works that you're working on? Are you planning?
Yes. Well, I'm planning to release my next single in March, so it should be great.
So let's talk about your I guess your journey, your career at this point. I mean, you've been in LA for a while. I mean, how long have you been in Los Angeles?
I've been in Los Angeles pretty much all my life. I'm 41 now, and I've been here pretty much all my life.
So when I met you, of course I met you were singing and different things that I read that singing is your passion. So at what point in your life did you, of course you have to like doing makeup. So at what point in your life you say, you know what, I like makeup and I'm gonna sing, or you started with the singing first?
Well, actually I started with the singing first. My very first production deal ever was with the production group called IMC Entertainment.
Okay.
And I was signed to do a national interracial group for no one said anything about, but Michael Jackson wanted a national interracial group that consisted of me, which was a Latin guy, a African American girl, a Asian girl, and a Caucasian white guy.
Okay.
And so they created the group, and what happened, no one in the group sang but me. So they were there pretty much for just the look. Okay. And I was the singer. So what ended up happening was they overspent the budget. They gave us, which was unheard of back then, they gave us, I think it was $100,000 or something to do just a demo.
Oh, wow. And
and we end up pulling in all these people like Ray Parker Jr., Sylvester Rivers, Tab Talbert, Joan Scott. These were key people in the music industry at the moment that we were doing this. And so what ended up happening was they overspent the budget and they went back to get it, and they said no, should have nothing to do with that. So ended up shelving us. And as shelving us, I got a call from MJJ. And MJJ was, later I find out, was Michael Jackson's company. And so I went and had an interview with them and all that. Then they invited me in to be their first solo artist. They already had a group. They had a group, and they also had like a rap group. They had Brownstone, then a rap group, and I was to be their first artist to be released. Okay. And then they shelved. Then they got rid of Michael Jackson's company. So wow. That was my story. So I said, okay, I have really put a lot into this. Let me go ahead and find me a little foundation I can rely on while this thing is taking off. And that pretty much never came as far as the music taking off, because I decided to do hair and makeup, which I was naturally good at it. I could look at something and do it. And it took off with celebrities, and the pay was good and everything. What I find myself doing, I find myself getting comfortable with just being financially stable, and I could fix anything else after that. So now I'm over that stage of it. Now I'm in the stage of it, okay, I need to start doing what I love.
So let me ask you this. So what was your, I guess you can say, your break as far as starting to do hair and makeup when you started getting, celebrities? What was that first call that you received?
The first call was Billy Preston. Billy Preston. I was currently doing his hair and his family's hair. And this is funny because I didn't even get called to do hair. I got called to sing. She needed a background. Aretha Franklin needed a background singer. And they ended up giving, he called and said, I know somebody that would be perfect. I got this young guy that I think would be amazing. Like, you mold them and you let them know what you need them to do and all that. So they did that. And I ended up getting a tour. I ended up getting it, and we went, and it was great. And that was like my first thing. And then what happened was somebody's makeup artist or something didn't show up, or hairstylist didn't show up. So I stepped in. I said, well, just give me this, all I need is this and this and this and this. So we did it, and then I ended up doing the hair and makeup for the rest of the tour.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a good, doorway in. So from that, they just kind of took off.
Yes, it did, and it just kind of like stuck with me after that, and then I noticed that I didn't enjoy being on the sidelines anymore, watching people do something that I loved to do.
So do you find, of course, you've been doing hair and makeup a while, but is there any point of time where you receive a call from someone that you're surprised, like, wow, that's a pleasant surprise to go do hair and makeup for this celebrity or artist or something like that?
Yeah. I think, honestly, I'm never ever surprised, because being in this industry now, I realize that they're no different from me.
Right.
The only thing that's different is that they have, people probably know who they are name-wise more or visually more, but no, they're no better than me. And I've always thought that, because I have had to deal with so many attitudes and so many this and so many that. So at one point it was like, the bigger the star was, the more I was like, no, I'm fine, I don't want to do that. Because it would be such a passion. It would be such a problem. So now I can work with anybody. It doesn't, when you realize that you take nothing personal and you just make no assumptions and do what you got to do, that's it, that's all. And it all works out.
And I guess the other thing, I mean, you know that you are good at what you do. So,
and that's amazing too. I don't think I've ever looked at it like that. Like, I know that I'm good, or I know that this is. I've always looked at it as, wow, like they're calling me. I've never thought about. I realized that I said, okay, well, they're calling you because you know your stuff.
Right.
Yeah, knowing your stuff and knowing that you're good is two different things. Because it's a lot of people that know their craft. It's a lot of people that know their craft probably 100 times better than me at what I do and you at what you do, but because of your persistence and because of who you are, that's what furthers your career and what it is that you choose to do.
And then one thing I can say about you, I mean, every time I've seen you, every time we've talked or I've played with you or anything like that, it's attitude. You are great to work with, have a great attitude, great personality, and just from being in the entertainment world, it goes a long way.
It really, really, really does. And I tell people this all the time too. I say that what is amazing is that regardless of what is going on, I can call anybody right now. If you said, Tony, I want to do this and do this and do this and do this, you know somebody. 9 times out of 10, I'll be able to go into my phone, call them directly and say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Well, I need some help. I got a friend that need a little help doing something, and, we ain't got a budget, but, hey, let's do it. This is going to be fun. I'm willing to be a part of it. And they go, Tony, whatever you're a part of, I want to be a part of it. Let's do it. That is the response I get from 99.9 of my friends.
And really, that is excellent to say in this industry, because there are a lot of talented people that can do a lot of things, but when you start working with certain people and their attitude is just bad, or their work ethic is bad, it calls for whatever that you're doing. It's a friction. You don't want to work with them. Their reputation really precedes them.
Yeah, and it really, really does. And I tell people all the time, it puzzles me. It really puzzles me that people would rather be difficult than be loved. That's amazing. And then you get so many people that deem themselves as celebrities, and they go, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Don't you realize that if you take care of me, even when you're not on the charts, I'm going to take care of you? Because when you're not on the charts, the price track could change.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the only way that it really stays consistent is if you've done what you're supposed to do before you got to the charts.
And you're listening to the interview with
So a lot of people don't realize that I don't burn bridges.
Right back
I may not have to cross it again, but I'll be
Does
able to
it
help
take
you
2 cups
if
of
you
coffee
need
to get you going in the morning? Are you slumped over in your office chair out of gas by mid-afternoon? If you're like most people, you want real energy, vitality, and stamina to last the entire day, every day. Holistic Healers Academy's natural health courses teach you how to reach your wellness goals, all from the comfort of home. Log on to our website to learn more about our programs and how to become a certified holistic health practitioner.
Don't use your personal credit to finance your business. Let the experts at 365 Corporate Solutions help you obtain working capital to help you expand and grow your business. We will help you establish corporate credit and financing regardless of your personal credit history. Don't put your personal credit at risk any longer. Call today at 214-396-9800 or visit us online at www.365corporatesolutions.com.
Can tell exactly what's on your mind. Breathe and pat and say that it's time to get deeper. Close my eyes for a little bit, feel you ride just a little bit. Climb into me. You know I'm anxious when you are away. Sometimes I know we both just need a space. Fast forward moments just to see your face. If only for a little bit, I stay in the moment. Don't lose your focus. Let me be selfish. Just focus on me. Focus on me. Focus on me. Focus on me. All night. Put it in motion. You rock with my emotions. When we go back and forth and back and forth, and ride the rhythm. Just ride my curves, go back and forth and back and forth, and ride the rhythm. Just hold me closer. Motion. You rock with my emotions. When you go back and forth and back and forth, then ride the rhythm. Ride my curves go back and forth and back and forth, then ride the rhythm. Just hold me closer. Oh, I usually try to keep from getting this involved. It's easier these days to go through life alone. But here we are now. Here we are now. So many things that I just wanna say. You know, 'cause it's written on my face. Mad I can't have my feelings with you, babe. Why you gotta be like this? Stay in the moment, don't lose your focus. Let me be selfish, just focus on me. Focus on me. Focus on me. Focus on me. All night. Put it in motion. You rock with my emotions. When you go back and forth and back and forth, then ride the rhythm. Ride my curves go back and forth and back and forth, then ride the rhythm. Just hold me closer. Motion. You rock with my emotions. When you go back and forth and back and forth, then ride the rhythm. Ride my curves go back and forth and back and forth, then ride the rhythm. Just hold me closer.
I know you're working on your project. Anything coming up that you're going to be out?
What is coming up? Honestly, I'm just right now, I'm in the whole building mode. I'm in the building mode of building the team. I realize that it takes a team to do this thing. You can't do this thing on your own. And you can, but it's impossible. It's so much easier when you got somebody to help you. So I am literally in that. I'm in that mode. I'm relying on friends. I'm calling on friends that I know how to put a kit together, know how to put a website together, know how to mix some music, know how to do that to accomplish one great product. And once I accomplish that product and able to be, compensated for it, everybody eats.
Absolutely. Well, you know, Tony, if you need me, you got me.
Yeah, and you've always been there from day one. From day one with the red goatee.
Yeah, the red goats. Yeah. I was thinking about getting that back.
Well, it's possible.
It's possible. I might have to call you on that one. But yeah, but if you need me for whatever, if you have a show or something going on, I would love to come out and if play, or if I'm not playing, to do a live remote where I'm doing the show live, where people can hear the performance, by listening to the show or whatever.
Well, let's do it, because I have tons of venues like that. I actually helped one of my friends run a few open mics around town.
Oh, okay.
And you're more than welcome to come. The places are beautiful. The sound is amazing. The singers are amazing. And you would really, really enjoy it. It's everybody knows everybody. It's just a loving atmosphere.
Well, I have something I can talk to you in detail once we get off of here. And in this industry, I have come across, and I know you have, I've come across so many artists, musicians, entrepreneurs who they seem to have, they make a lot of money, or they have made a lot of money, but they're broke.
No, and it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. And to be honest, it's not even by I would say it's not by choice, but it is by choice, because what happens is that you get sucked into having to be fabulous.
Right.
And it's hard to be fabulous when you ain't got the money to be fabulous.
Right.
So the biggest thing that I have found is that just because you see someone on TV, just because you see them in the limelight, don't assume that they just have a peachy life, because it takes a whole lot to keep up that fabulousness that you see that may be real or may not.
Right. It's funny. There's an artist that I know, and a lot of people treat them different, and they couldn't really understand why. Partly understood why, but online it says they're worth $15 million. That's what it says. That's what's publicized, but they don't have nowhere near that. So so a lot of times they are keeping up the appearances, what's being portrayed when people look them up, and that's what people do.
Yeah.
And then you go hungry and broke. So
Yep.
I created this thing,
and I know. And I really know. So that's why I'm drawn to so many women in the industry, because at some point, I think I need their motherly advice, their womanly advice,
right.
And they need just my kind, loving spirit. So it all pans out, and when you can do that, it pans out to be great, because they realize that you're there to help and not to put them down.
Right.
And it's very important in the industry we do that we take care of our black women, because they have a lot of issues that they have to cover up in order to be great.
Right.
They think.
Right.
But you don't have to be. So,
Absolutely. Well, Tony, I thank you for being on the show today, and I want people to.
No, thank you, Chris.
And
I promise. And what I will promise is that I will promise that when I get the video done, I'm shooting the video next week.
Oh, okay.
And then what I'm going to do is I will call you and let you know. I'll get you the links to everything, and then you can debut it for me.
That would be great. That would be absolutely great. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I love
Good. It's going to be great. The message in it, the name of the song is called Happy.
Okay.
And it basically says, I want to be happy. There were times that I did not have, but I gave. Caught up in the moment, I was not brave to say no. A lot of us get caught up into that.
We do. We get caught in the moment, and we get lost. We lose our way.
Yeah.
And we need people like yourself, and to really help people steer them in a different direction. Steer them straight, really. And so, but I appreciate being on the show. And how can people follow you?
I don't have anything up yet, but you can most definitely go to my Instagram page, where you will see lots of me and my beautiful celebrity legends and all of that, working with them. It's a fun page, so go on and you can. That's on Instagram at The Real Sir Tony.
The Real Sir Tony on Instagram.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for being on the Chris Black Show, and we'll be right back.
Keep it locked right here. You're listening to the Chris Black Radio Show.
And we're back on the Chris Black Radio Show, and we have our spotlight guest and artist on the show today. We have Jazmen. Safina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
You're wonderful.
Yes, feeling great, blessed.
So I'm happy that you had an opportunity and you agreed to come on the Chris Black Show. We're happy to have you. This is your first time.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So I want to get right into it. So I met you out here in Los Angeles, California, but you're not from here. You're from North Carolina.
Right, from Durham, North Carolina.
So I know that it's a jump to go from North Carolina music scene to Los Angeles. So what made you make the jump to come out to Los Angeles?
I mean, I was raised in Durham, and I just felt like I needed something new. I felt like I wasn't growing and that I needed to go somewhere different. And I came out to LA to visit a friend, and I almost didn't go back home. So I just made the decision to move out here.
So how long have you been in Los Angeles now?
I think like a year and a half. It'll be 2 years at the end of May.
So I know with that transition, tell me about, just being in LA a year and a half, how has that journey been?
It's been hard. I'm really close to my family, so it's been the hardest thing for me is just being so far from them and not being around, to see everybody grow up. Like, I'm the oldest of 9, so it sucks that I'm missing, all of my brothers and sisters, like their lives and all that. But I'm out here focusing on my music. I'm just focused, like, that's the bigger picture, is I want to be able to take care of my family. So I'm just out here grinding and trying to stay focused on the bigger picture.
So since you've been out here in Los Angeles, what are one of the biggest things you've learned since you've been out here?
How to budget, and I don't even think I've got that grasp yet. It's LA is a lot more expensive than Durham, North Carolina, so that's probably the biggest adjustment is.
And you're still adjusting.
Yeah, I'm still adjusting. I'm 2018. We're doing budgets and financial plans and whatnot.
So do you find yourself, every time you talk to somebody in Los Angeles and they're in the business, you say, well, so what do you do? Well, I sing, but then I work down at the whatever store. Then I do this and I do that. They have like 10 jobs. So if you found yourself in that boat, you found something where you can really kind of take care of your life here.
Yeah, well, I work at Bare Minerals. It's a makeup company, so I work in retail. But it's cool because, like, before I moved to LA, I was working for Bare Minerals back in North Carolina. So I was able to transfer, and I'm on the management team, so I get good hours and I get paid well, and I get a really nice discount on makeup. So it's. So, I lucked out.
So what was it, at least that you get the cost of living raise going from there to here?
I mean, it's still tight, but I'm making it work.
Oh.
It's not what I'm used to back in, like, North Carolina. It's so much cheaper back home.
So is that, you think you would ever go back?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's
for sure.
It's
I definitely see myself moving back to the South.
So you were working on music back in North Carolina. And so how successful were you there? I mean, it's a different market and everything, but, were you able to leave your imprint, at least there, as an independent artist?
I left North Carolina in May of 2016, and in August of 2016, I was awarded Best Female R&B Artist at the Carolina Music Awards. So I left on a high note.
Well, that's good.
For sure.
That's good. So I see here, I mean, I see your pictures and the things that you post. So, I mean, you are on your grind.
Yeah. I came out here and I didn't really know anybody, probably like only a handful, but none of them were even, in the industry that I'm in and that I'm trying to reach. So, like, I just out here on a mission to make sure that everybody knows who I am. I just go everywhere.
Right. I saw you were just at the study, correct?
Yeah. I was a featured artist at the Juice Joint.
And then I think either you have coming up, is it what is it called? Burger?
The Burger and Friends, that was yesterday. It was last night.
Okay.
It was a really dope show at Delicious Vinyl, hosted by Hannah. She's a DJ. She hosted shows, really cool. She brought together a really dope group of people.
Okay, that's good. So you also, not too long ago, this last month, you put out a new project.
Yes, Homesick. I collaborated with my friend who is also from North Carolina, Wrist. We released that January 10th. It's a 6-track EP.
So was that a project that you had already started working on before you came here, or it's straight from scratch right here?
It's straight from scratch out here. Me and him met out here, and we just happened to find out, both of us were from North Carolina, and we're just like, oh, cool, let's do a project together. And yeah, it came about.
So tell me about the project. What is it about? What did you write about?
Basically, this is my first time being really far away from home, and I came out here and I jumped into a relationship really quickly, and we're no longer together, and this was just kind of me coping and dealing with that, because I didn't have my support system right there beside me like I normally do. So I literally had to throw myself into my music to get by, and so that's just what came out.
So this one is a lot about your relationship and some of the, I guess, the pain and the heartache that you had in a relationship, but also love at the same time.
Yeah, and just kind of finding love within yourself and being able to move on and not be bitter and
right,
be okay. That's kind of the message I want to give. Is just it's okay to hurt, but eventually you need to move on.
Right. So what is your goal with this project?
It's literally pages from my diary. So I just, a lot of the time because I am so far away from my support system, I do feel, alone and lonely, and I don't have, the people that I normally have to vent to right when something goes down. So I let these things out, and I just hope that somebody listens to it. And, if they're also feeling lonely, or that they're worried that they're the only people going through this, they realize that they're not alone. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That makes complete sense. And I think, most people, when they're writing, they are kind of writing from wherever they are in life, whatever experiences, just to kind of talk about, and it's really sometimes like a therapy for them as well. You can get everything out and talk about it and get it out and be okay, and you can move on, and you can go back and listen to it and say, this is where I was at this point in my life, but I'm not there, I'm here. And you hear a graduation when you listen to different artists' music from the first to the second to the third. You hear how they have evolved, you hear how they have matured, not only in their writing and in the message and where they are in life. So that is great. So since you've been on your grind, today is just, today is, I would say, Thursday. What do you have the rest of this week? Where are you going to be?
I'm not doing any shows for the rest of the week. I'm kind of chilling this month. I am doing the Soulful of Noise anniversary on the 24th. That's pretty much all I have going on this month right now. I'm just I'm working on getting my own band together. So that's my focus right now.
Okay, so you can always have your band on call wherever that you need to go. All right. Well, if you need someone to play tambourine, I'm a mean tambourine player.
Yeah, all right. I got your number now, so like for sure, I'll call you up.
I got you. Tambourine and harmonica. I got you. I got you.
Oh my gosh, nobody plays the harmonica anymore. Like that's no. Are you serious?
No, I don't. I do not play harmonica.
I was gonna figure out a way to add it to my set.
Well, that is good. So what I want to do now is I want to play some of your music. So tell me, what's one of your favorite songs on your project that we can play right now?
Oh, one of my favorite songs.
And tell me why.
Oh man, they're all my favorite songs. That's why they were put on the project.
I know it's hard because they probably all your favorite songs.
It is. Well, I'll say "Pinky Swear" because that's the one that got it all started. That's the one that kind of made the project happen. So "Pinky Swear" is definitely a favorite.
Pinky Swear. Now, I know what Pinky Swear means, but what, in the context of your song, why did you name it Pinky Swear?
Well, to me, Pinky Swear is a serious business. Like I don't play. So, if I make a promise and I really, really mean it, like I pinky swear, and I'm not gonna break it. So I'm basically saying, like, I pinky swear I'm gonna hold you down. Like it's a serious business to me.
All right. So we're going to play Pinky Swear, and we will be right back.
High off the sativa, boy, your love's got me feeling immaculate. You've given me fever, and I'm not just being dramatic. The light has been lit. The fire has started. Baby, just give in. There's no need to be guarded. High off the sativa, boy, your love's got me feeling good. It's easy to get caught up when you think that you ain't been thought of. Security's been infiltrated, no point in keeping your guard up. If you can keep up, I pinky swear I'll hold you down. Chief in this time indica, this shit's got me feeling stuck. I wanna be stuck to you. You give me butterflies. They say the heart never lies, and my heart is telling me it's you. It's you. I'm so high up in the clouds that all the weight of negativity can never ever bring me down. Shout out to the open air beneath my feet. I'm grounded, let's enjoy the green. This is how it's supposed to be. Carefree living, you and me. It's easy to get caught up when you think that you ain't been thought of. I'm thinking about you. Security's been infiltrated, no point in keeping your guard up. Just let it happen. If you can keep up, I pinky swear I'll hold you down. Take time to know me. Patience, love, let's not disrupt the vibe. Please, won't you hold me? Hold me through the night. hold you down.
I like that one.
And we're back on the Chris Black Radio Show, and we just finished listening to Pinky Swear by Jazmen. So I was reading something, and I want to ask you a question. Of course, this is not your first project that you have done, but you have a couple of interesting titles of a few other projects that you have put out. So I just, I want to know a little bit about those. So you have one that you put out called The Pain of Pleasure.
Yeah.
And then another one called Damaged Goods. So tell me, where were you when you wrote that?
So Pain of Pleasure was like my first project, and I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why we called it that. I was just in a weird place, relationship wise. And it was kind of like, as I'm writing it, I'm like, why, am I putting myself through this? I think that's kind of where the title came from. It was like, why am I putting myself through this just to be around a person that, even though they make me feel good, like they still treat me really badly, like, is it worth it? And so it was kind of like, oh, the pain of pleasure. And we just kind of, yeah.
Wow. Pain of Pleasure.
Yeah.
And then you had Damaged Goods.
Yeah, I was like still with that same really bad relationship. And it was something that I was called, but he called me Damaged Goods, and I just kind of was just like, oh, if that's what you want to call me, I'm going to take it and make it into something not hurtful.
So
I haven't thought about these projects in forever.
Well, I had to look up a couple of things and to get to the background, but yeah, but I'm glad that, like I was saying earlier, that that's a place. We look at those projects, or we listen to those projects, and we appreciate it because we learned and we were able to move on and grow from it. And like you said, you haven't heard those in a while, so obviously, you've moved on from that. But I just thought that was interesting. So how can one make sure they stay connected with you and follow you and all of that?
Instagram is the best way to stay in touch with me. I post up there the most frequently. My Instagram handle is Jazmen Safina. JazmenSafina.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where I'm at.
So I'm gonna look forward to. I will probably be at the anniversary show on the 24th.
Awesome.
And one of the things that I like to do on the show, when I get an opportunity to go out, is I go to live events, and I record some of the live event. And then I feature the live, whatever, some of the live music or the song or the artist or something like that. I feature that on the show. So instead of, you have your project and you play your project, but now I want people to hear the live moment, what other people hear when they're out. So I want to be able to do that. So I might come to the show just so I can get some of that.
That'll be so cool.
So,
I definitely want that feed. Whatever you get of me, like, please send it to me.
I absolutely will. I'm gonna try to get as much audio as possible and post that and put it on my Emerge Radio. I have a radio thing, and besides the Chris Black Show, of course, I'll play it on here. But then I do another independent artist that I play music. Independent artist music all the time on Emerge Radio. So of course your songs will be on there as well.
Oh, okay.
So as on our way out, I want to play one more song. So what's your second favorite song?
Oh man, I wanted you to choose.
Now, you know what? I can't choose. I can't choose. You know the songs better than I do. And I know you like them all. And I'm gonna end up playing all the songs, but I want some highlights.
Well, okay. Well, I won't necessarily say this is my favorite song, but this song I get a lot. Like I get a great response to. Everybody always says it. So I'm gonna go with "Coolin'." Yeah.
Coolin'. So,
Coolin'.
So is it about the title? Is it you just coolin'?
I'm coolin'. It was basically a song that I wrote to hype myself up before I saw my ex for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, we were going to be at the same event, and so I was feeling kind of gloomy about it, and I wrote this song.
All right, coolin'. So again, thanks for being on the Chris Black Show, and we look forward to getting some audio from you on the live event. Yeah. And thanks again, and tell your friends so they can go and listen to the interview. And you've been listening to Chris Black Radio Show, and we're going to play "Coolin'" by Jazmen. All righty.
I admit that I was broken up in shambles over you, baby. Thought that you were the one, but now I'm straight up coolin'. Shit happens, I get it, you thought you were in love. I was hurt for like 2 seconds, I thought I wasn't enough. Ask me how I've been, you might not like the answer. I've been doing me, and no, I'm no disaster. Surprise, motherfucker, surprise. I'm alright, motherfucker. I'm alright. You missed out, motherfucker. 'Cause I've been doing good. I've been doing good. Without you, yeah, I've been doing good. I'm sorry that you're hurt, but you did this to yourself. For a while, I was bitter. Your name, it tasted sour. I'm real enough to admit that I gave you too much power. But can you blame me? I thought I was in love. I thought you were too. 'Cause it was you who wanted more. You opened me up, left me vulnerable and scared 'cause you weren't ready for love. Hey, are you surprised? Surprised that I'm alright? You missed out. 'Cause I've been doing good. I've been doing good. Without you, yeah, I've been doing good. I'm sorry that you're hurt, but you did this to yourself. I hope that you get everything you ever wanted in life. And I hope that it still ain't enough. Call me bitter, big chatty. No holding back on being petty. We ain't gotta talk in order for me to find closure. You told me sorry's not forever. Me open up and love again, probably never. I'ma keep keeping on and sing my song. 'Cause I've been doing good. I've been doing good. Without you, yeah, I've been doing good. I'm
that you hurt, but you did this to yourself.
And we're back on the Chris Black Radio Show. I want to thank you for taking time out to listen to the show. Listen, make sure that you share the show. Make sure that you have your friends, I don't know, your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your brother, your sister, listen to the Chris Black Radio Show. And in my conclusion, I want to give you a few events that are going on. On tomorrow night, I will be performing at LA Lounge in Inglewood, California. That is 2521 West Manchester. And I want you to stay tuned for the Afternoon of Jazz. That's coming up on April 15th. There's going to be a lot of great artists that's going to be on it there. Do y'all remember the Patty Pie? Mr. Patty Pie, he's going to be performing. James Wright Chanel is performing. American Idol Jacob Lusk is going to be performing. We have saxophonist, national recording artist Carrie Sims. So a lot of people is going to be there that's going to be performing. I want to make sure that you're there. Go to afternoonofjazz.com. Make sure that you continue to listen to the show. Tell your friends about it. We will be back on next Thursday. And I always like to leave you with a positive, some type of positive saying. And this week, your positive action combined with positive thinking results in success. Remember, your positive action combined with positive thinking. So it's going to start with your thinking. When you think positively, it's going to turn into your actions. So your actions and your action plans will result in success. Again, thanks for listening to the Chris Black Radio Show.
Is all that I wanted. To make you mine was all on my mind. Through all your ribs and flows, I saw to you. Took no caution, 'cause love is blind. To ride or die was always your motto. A chick as bad as me, baby, I'm always down for you. Chrome, steel, 45 and 9, baby, prepared always to go heavy. Anything that you wanted, I would see it through. Release myself. Tell me, is this the life for me? Release myself. I think I'm running out of time. Release myself. Tell me, is this the life for me? Release myself. I think that I've run out of time. Black bag, pure white. You say no one to deliver. I got you, baby. Yeah, I got you. Grab my keys, crank the ride, going hard, baby boy, 'cause I'm your girl. Miss shit got switched, they came hard on me and I got stung. Damn. And you wanted knowledge that I was yours. I thought with the shit I did, baby, you'd always be there for me. But then when the shit got thick, you dipped and you bailed on me. And now I'm gone and my shoes have been refilled. Release myself. Tell me, is this the life for me? Release myself. I think I'm running out of time. Release life for me.